Com check, 1, 2, 3, com check, hitting record in 3, 2, 1, now. Greetings and salutations to you all, as I, JM2I22, and more Half-Life. And in case you have you might have noticed, I was actually tweaking with the settings to make it a little bit more higher res, and it's actually not that bad. Actually, speaking of higher res, I promise that was not a planned segue. Is that the new Black Mesa, Black Mesa Source mod is out. And if you don't know what that is a mod that's been in production for a long time, but it's not by Valve, even though they have the same time pace of Valve, that's for damn sure. It's the original Half-Life game. This one completely updated, like all the graphics look like a modern game, like if it were made in like 2010, 11, whatever. And actually, a bit of trivia is I've known about it for a while. I remember once again they took forever, and everybody thought that it just wasn't gonna happen, like Half-Life 3. But now, no, it's coming out, and by the time you watch this, it's probably gonna be out already. I mean, today's day, this day of recording, and oh wait, never mind. And I remember saying, like, before I was doing the recording, I was just checking the internet and the forums and how the server's going to go up pretty soon. Anyway, what Black Mesa Source is exactly what it sounds. It's the first Half-Life game. This one completely rebuilt once again through the modern Source engine, which is what all Valve games, or at least most of them, are built off of. You know, Team Fortress 2, Half-Life 2, pretty much Left 4 Dead. All the games are built off their Source engine. That's what's called Source. And it's a mod that just utilizes the Source engine and rebuilds the first game, level per level, engagement per engagement, I'd imagine, or at least, every NPC. I actually don't have that much interest in it. I mean, a lot of people have hype because it's Half-Life. Everybody loves the first game. And actually, that reminds me of something else. Shotguns. I'm gonna bring that up too after this. And everybody's hype. And it's finally out, and it's free, and you can just download it. But I actually, like I said, I don't have much interest in it, because, I mean, I'm playing Half-Life right now, the original. And I guess you can say I'm just kind of like, not hipster, vintage like that. I prefer to play the originals. But I probably will check it out sometime in the future. See how faithfully it recreates everything. Speaking of, what was I saying earlier? Shotguns, okay. This is actually a huge pet peeve that I have. With all games, every single game, okay? And I'm gonna drop a fucking bombshell on you. If you know gun, because I'm actually quite the gun guy. I'm a gun otaku. Yeah, there we go. I like guns. I love guns. I own like 5 for now. And this is one issue that I have with this game and every other first-person shooter game that I've ever played. Well, not everyone. Well, but still, every single game has not faithfully recreated how shotguns actually perform. A real-life shotgun has more range than a pistol. That's a fact! Now think of every other fucking first-person shooter game you played. You do not use a shotgun because the enemy's too far for the pistol. It's always the other way around. But in real life, a fucking shotgun has twice the range of a pistol. Alright? Someone fix this, because it pisses me off. Even this game doesn't do it right. I remember, the biggest offender that made me the most aware of it, that every video game is getting it wrong. Well, the only game that I see was probably maybe, Doom, the original Doom, or, everybody remembers the legendary shotgun that was mad OP, or overpowered, because of its spread and range, even though that's actually what that would actually be their range. But the biggest offender of this that I've noticed, in the closest modern game that recreates shotguns the best, or at least the real life performance, is just one hit. Wow. Is Battlefield 3 that I know so far. It gives them a little bit more range, but still. Well, actually, I'd say they follow guns the most because, Battlefield 3 prides itself on its realism and, the one thing is that I'll talk about that later. But anyway, shotguns, yes. Nobody gets it right. And the biggest failure, or at least the one that made me the most aware of it, was fucking Fear 2. The game Fear 2. Now, the reason about Fear 2 was that there was a pump action shotgun, right? And that thing was so fucking useless. I mean, there would be an enemy, like, just a room's length across from you, and you maybe do, like, 40% damage. I mean, look at this. I have to use a pistol because I know the shotgun might not make that range. I'll experiment that with later, but okay, kind of, but still. Still.
Don't count on the cavalry finding us down here. Head for the surface. Elevators are out of order, but we can still climb. We might stand a better chance.
Anyway, so, and the game Fear 2, the thing was so damn useless. Like, someone would be, like, fucking a room's length away from you, and it wouldn't even hurt them. Like, I remember it was like a funny, wow, I went through all of that just so I can go one room's length further. Old school gaming, Unforgiven. Move, shit. Okay, and it was just, and not only that, it's just the damn thing felt sluggish too. Because in the first Fear game, well, besides its pitiful range, but in the first Fear game, the shotgun was actually pretty good. It was a weapon you always had on you, actually. It was rather powerful, and it could handle everybody. At least I know I always had it on me. But the Fear 2, I guess that's why, because it might have been seen as overpowered in the first game, and so that's why they redid the pump action shotgun.
You are from the anomalous material lab.
Blah, 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 blah. Come on. It's a goddamn 12-gauge shotgun. Not to mention that, but Spaz, this is what it is, Spaz 12 is actually a very popular shotgun for video games. I guess because it looks cool. Anyway, so, yeah, like, a lot of that, because, like, yeah, in the first Fear game, you would shoot, like this. The gun would kick up and you'd cock at the same time. It went great with the action theme, you know, but also Fear and slow-mo. This one kind of, like, shoots and then you cock it, which is fine, too. But in the second Fear game, and I think even the third, too, the gun wouldn't jump back as much, so, like, ooh, I almost didn't make it. I remember the first time I played through, I tried to desperately save this guy by getting up quickly enough, like, maybe if you did, you could, help him or some shit, but, no. Can't kill him either, huh. Anyway, it's a scripted scene where you know, the idea is, you know, you get up to after a certain point and he'll just fall, regardless. Like, there it goes. Anyway, what was I saying? Okay, just in essence, shotguns, every video game company, failing, alright? Just failing. What else was I talking about? Actually, that also reminds me, because now that everything's set up again, I would actually like to take this opportunity to point out one of Valve's strong points once again is how they're really good at revealing story and gameplay through scripted scenes in-game. We're not like fucking, what is it? Metal Gear Solid, notorious for its damn cutscenes all the damn time, or the Codex, where they just tell you how everything works. Here, we just revealed that someone is coming for the scientists, we don't know who, and that there are these things on the wall that have blue lasers that blow up when you cross them. And now we encounter red lasers, which we're going to be weary of because the blue laser kills someone, which is the red laser too, but it forces us to have to go through it. And then we learn through a gated fence that we still get hurt, it activates turrets. And it's pretty fucking deadly. Anyway. Shit. Fuck. Yeah, I'm playing Half-Life again. Ass kicked. Okay. God damn. Here's another failure of Valve, though. At least when they made this game, they did not throw their guns, alright? Valve does not know this gun. This is an MP5 with an SMOD silencer mod on it. E.g., there's a silencer built completely around the barrel and you can't take it off, so it's always going to be silenced. This gun is not silenced, okay? And the people... I'll bring it up when the important plot points comes up. But that's something that really kind of breaks my suspension of disbelief. But anyway, there's something else on my mind. Oh, yes. Okay, now that I've, everything's calm for me, if you saw the other video. If you don't, if you're watching this like at a later date, don't worry about it. Every now and then, occasionally, I get someone asks me, JM, I like your stuff. Do you have any tips about making funny videos, or like, just what are the programs you use, or just like, just how do you do it? How do you make me laugh? God, I sound so pretentious. Anyway, but occasionally, yeah, every now and then, some people have asked me that via through personal message. Come on. Alright, whatever. And so, I'm going to give you my advice to you. So, when I started my little... Actually, there's a story behind that. When I started abridging... okay, I'm going to tell the story linearly, so I'm not jumping around all over the place. At least, well, and there's this... whatever. Well, I'm healing up on soda cans, so I'll let you know. So, like I said in an earlier gameplay, that I found My Little Pony through Purple Eyes and all that, and before that, I knew, well, a lot of us early adapters were guys who, like, I mean, yeah, the one reasons why I was drawn to My Little Pony was, I saw it in one of Purple Eyes' videos of his abridged series of Code Geass, and, it caught my interest because it looked like anime-ish, and then, of course, a lot of us early adapters were those kind of like, yeah, we watch anime and shit, and so that's what just pulled us in, or at least piped our interests, or at least, and because of that, most people like us, tend to watch, abridged series and shit like that, and I always, before I even found My Little Pony, I knew I was going to do an abridged series of something, and then I found My Little Pony, and that was it, I was going to abridge My Little Pony. But, first, remember, when the first season ended, or at least, maybe not all of you, but for us OG bronies that were around before, that found My Little Pony on our own, I'm kidding, the first season was over, and there was this lot of hype for it, the fandom was spreading, and all this hype was going up, and then, of course, the next logical step for us guys who watched anime, liked the Bridge series, enjoyed things like Team 4-Star and Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. There's gotta be a Bridge series of this shit. It would be hilarious. And, of course, the first guys, and my rivals, well, they kind of flaked out now, so whatever. You see that? Oh, it's fucking legit. Anyway, I think they just called themselves MLP Abridged, the guys that had, a bunch of, 12 people on the damn project, and that was the project that Terry originally broke off from. No, not Terry. What the fuck? I never learned his name. The guy who makes, the Mentally Advanced series, even though he hasn't put any episodes out lately, but neither have I. I'll talk smack when it does come out. I do put out a next episode. But still. And that actually, I'm gonna bring something else up, too. Fuck, so much to talk about. So, anyway, I was originally gonna go with those guys. I think so. Yeah, I think his name was Craig. He broke off and did the Mentally Advanced series because they had a disagreement on the style of comedy they should approach. Anyway, I don't think I'm supposed to jump down that. I don't remember. Anyway, I was gonna join up with those guys too. The MLP Abridged guys that were trying to be all Team 4-Star-ish, and I berate them still for come up with your own damn disclaimer. They're just trying to be... Come up with your own flavor. People expect their own flavor. Which... Okay, I'll bring it up. Because that's actually one of my strategies. Or techniques of abridging. Anyway, so I was originally gonna team up with them, or like audition. I was gonna audition for Rainbow Dash, and I was gonna do a voice acting for Rainbow Dash. Now I was gonna audition with my Scottish accent. Oh, of course, it'd be funny. You got all these girls singing. You got all the normal voice actors doing, or at least abridged voice actors of the abridged whatever. Doing the voice, and then suddenly there's just a Scottish Rainbow Dash out of nowhere. It make no fucking sense, which is why I still do it. But I took too long because I needed to get some materials ready, like a microphone mainly. And in case you're wondering, I use a normal analog microphone plugged into an amp, which is my bass amp for my bass guitar. And I was using my guitar amp, but the bass amp just works better at picking up the voice. Anyway, that's plugged in, of course, through the input, and then from there it allows me to mess around with the volume, the treble, and all that shit, the presence, just a little bit of tweaking for the acoustics of it. The acoustics of it. And then it has an adapter plugged into it for an aux cord that you use for like your phone to connect to your car. That just connects to the computer mic set. And that's what I use. There's a shitload of wires, but it allows me to just do a bit of tweaking without having to mess with all the digital stuff inside the computer, like the hertz and shit. And here we go.
Thank God you're here.
Okay, so this is where my suspension of disbelief breaks. So the idea is Gordon is a bit of an exceptional person. He's kind of like the average Joe, but a bit above. Of course, he's got a PhD in physics. He's a smart guy. And after dialogue, they're revealing, kill the people. I still don't think just a guy like Gordon, because it's also revealed that he received weapons training from the facility during the tutorial. Once again, Valve's brilliance integrating story and gameplay. And the tutorial, is like supposedly Gordon is still applying for the job and is like just undergoing the training that apparently every employee has to go through, even though they get slaughtered like sheep. I don't think Gordon, being somewhat exceptional of the average Joe man, or slightly above average of the average Joe, can take on Special Forces Marines. And Special Forces Marines don't use the MP5 or the SMOD mod that I'm aware of. The Marines don't use this gun. Now, actually, what game was it? I believe the PS1 or the PS2 version, I don't know, because Half-Life came out for one of those. And actually changed it to like would be an M16 with the M203 grenade launcher under it, and then the pistol is Beretta, and like the shotgun's a Mossberg or some shit, a Mossberg 500. Hold on, action scene. I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna get back to all my ranting. I've been playing a lot of Unreal Tournament, so I'm not gonna plan this shit out. Oh fuck, I'm about to die. Never mind, that was a mistake. This was a mistake. Ah, fuck. Okay, let's go back to ranting as I plan my form of attack here. So, is the HEV suit just that awesome that he can take on an entire battalion's worth of Marines? I mean, like, okay, he knows the facility and he can ambush them, but after a while, I think he'd just get overwhelmed and killed. Like I was. Anyway, so what was I? So yeah, that's my biggest problem. Not the interdimensional. Oh fuck, that's my biggest problem that breaks the realism of this game for me. Not the interdimensional, fucking monsters and aliens and shit. Not the G-Man, all that shit. It's like I don't think Gordon could take on Special Marines like this. Okay, there are Special Forces, bitch. National Guard, maybe. I'm kidding. So, what was I saying? Oh yes, I was originally going to try out for MLP Abridged, those guys. But it took too long for me to get my mic and all that stuff, and so I decided just to do it on my own. And so my approach to doing the Spoof Series show is this. Do what you think is funny. I mean, I like video games, and a lot of my references and jokes are... Well, that's another thing about my style of comedy. I kind of like to think of myself I think I might lose half of you if I say this. My comedy is Dane Cook-esque, as in where I really don't make jokes. I just put them in funny situations and have them just cuss a lot and make references all over the place about violence and Nom and Half-Life and shit, and just cuss all over the fucking place. Like, yeah, shut the fuck up, or whatever. But I think that stuff's funny, and that's my advice to you if you're gonna do stuff like this is do just what you think is funny. If you don't find it funny, then don't put it up. Just follow your own style of comedy and stuff like that. I guess I'm also kind of like really influenced by a lot of British comedy, mainly Hot Fuzz, but a lot of others. Because if you don't know what Hot Fuzz is, it's a cop movie about with Simon Pegg and someone else, but it's pretty funny. I recommend you go watch it. Just look it up, Hot Fuzz. And it's one of my favorite movies. And what I like about the humor in there is it's over the top and violent, like I like to do, but it's also very witty. And if you watch it again a few times, or if you pay attention, like with a lot of British comedy, they drop a lot of jokes early on, and then it's a lot of callback humor. They set up stuff through dialogue, and then it pays off later through action or more dialogue or the joke. They reveal the setup really quickly, or like I like to call it the pre-setup of a normal joke, and then the punchline comes later, and it's more funny because you spot it early on. And that's kind of the style I'm following with like all this fucking there's all these video game references, and they actually do mean something later on in the spoof series show, and they're gonna come full circle. I guarantee you, everything they drop, everything that everybody says through dialogue actually is gonna matter. Anyway, and I don't know, that's just my kind of comedy, just a long running joke, but also but if you're gonna do it, just do something you like. Make it funny. And also, I sucked at editing, so I ain't gonna fucking apologize for it. I'm gonna make snarky comments, and a good way to see a lot of my influences, I think I brought them up before, was Antfish and Purple Ice. Because Antfish actually does a lot of snarky stuff too, and a shitload of references, especially video game references. And that's mainly what it is. I'm a gamer, and so I just love video game jokes and shit like that. And that's what most of the references are, actually, in the spoof series show. And Antfish does that a lot with a lot of games too, as well as just general pop culture, which is always funny. Oh, there it is. I was looking for the damn thing. So yeah, I just like that stuff. I like video games. I like anime, or like watching shit like that. I like making fun of them, and so I am. And I suck at editing, so I'm just gonna make it all fast paced, or like just no pace at all. Just throw it at you constantly, and just have fun. Just have fun. That's my advice. Just have fun with it. If you don't like it, then people can tell. If you're not putting much into it, as I'm pretty sure some people have noticed in my episodes. But no, I like doing it. I like it. I'm gonna keep doing it. And how long have we been running? I think we can go for a little bit longer. Let's see if I can save these witless idiots. Anyway, so yeah, that was the trivia. Still annoys me that you can't look down your sights. I know it's an early game, but I try to be tactful, and that's the point of the game. That's why they set up all these. But that's where this game does show its age, but instead of where it doesn't have things like crouch. Well, it does have crouch, but I don't know. It would help if it had like a lean mechanic where you can lean from side to side, and like in Fear. And just kind of peek around corners every now and then without stupid, clunky cover physics. And, you can feel more tactful. Because this game wants you, as Gavin always said, or his approach to video games is respecting the gamer's intelligence, making them learn, and makes it a much more enjoyable experience when you solve problems on your own. And, look at this map. It's well built. You got all this corners and cover that you can work around with. And, you know, where it does show its age, because it's missing some mechanics that you would expect maybe a game like this would have, it actually, instead of making it look old, it makes it just look impressive and shows you how innovative and how brilliant the Valve team was when they made this game. And why everybody fucking loves them. They earned it. They earned it. Speaking of that, I remember, like, Half-Life 2 I wasn't as impressed with. Because like it came out in 2004 and it's integrating, and mainly that's one of the reasons. Because I only discovered Half-Life like as of this recording about a year ago, and I played both games then. And with Half-Life, oh shit, throw grenades and everything, and shit beneath me. Anyway, and the second Half-Life, Half-Life 2 and all that, you know, brings in the tool, because that everybody likes, called the gravity gun. And the thing about the Source engine, which I still notice to today, which is probably why maybe Half-Life 3 is taking so long, is one of my Half-Life 2 seemed to show a bit of its age more than the first Half-Life. I didn't enjoy as much as I did playing Half-Life again. The first Half-Life. Mainly because, okay, I had to do all that bullshit just to end up here again. Mainly because because of its incorporated physics thing. I mean, like, you know, you have the gravity gun, you can pick up some things, but not everything. And that's one of my gripes with actually the Source engine to this day, like on a lot of games like Counter-Strike. Like, you have solid wall and then a bunch of rickety planks, and it just, like, seems breaking. Like, if you can break the planks, why can't you just break up the wall, too? I mean, it makes sense because it came out in 2004, and they set the benchmark for, like, actual physics of the game. Like, what came out at the same time? Like, Doom 3, which was just a 3D shooter. That's it. Everything was glued to where it was, and all he did was just... And, you know, you just had a bunch of cool guns that killed monsters. Not that it wasn't fun and all that, and, like, if that's what you're looking for, that's great. But still, it just, you know, Half-Life 2 showed a bit more of its age to me like that, because it integrated all these things, but in newer games, like, or games after it that were inspired or take from it, like, Red Faction Guerrilla, where everything can be destroyed, or practically everything. And then you play Half-Life 2, where only some stuff can be destroyed. You know, it really does feel dated. But, you know, the more I think about it, and the longer, the more it actually comes to impress me again, like the first Half-Life really does, is that despite its flaws, but it's a flaw that every game suffers. I mean, just little oversights, whatever. Games aren't supposed to be that realistic, they're meant to be fun. The more I think about it, the more I realize how actually groundbreaking and innovative the Half-Life 2 was, and why it's a lot of people's favorite games when they played it the first time it came out. You know, the fact that you can break apart stuff, pick up things with the gravity gun and shit, I mean, that's fucking just a whole new ball game after that. And then how games even nowadays just don't even feel up to that sometimes. New games, too. And, yeah. Speaking of learning to appreciate Valve a little bit more, I remember playing, like, because my first run-in with Valve was actually, I'm going to tell you a bit more about how I found Half-Life. Originally, I was just a Portal fan. It was, I was watching E3 one time, it was a few years ago back, when they were just announcing Portal 2, and I remember seeing the trailer for it, and it looked great, and especially Gladys was saying, that line that actually sold me on Portal was, I think we can put our differences aside for science, you monster. And just the way it was delivered and just the scene, it was great. I'm like, I have to play this fucking game. But it's Portal 2, it's a sequel. These guys have history. This character looks so awesome. What the hell was going on? And that's when that's when I went off and got the first Portal. Fuck. Oh, that's right, they rappelled down. Okay. Shit, I think we're gonna die. So, yeah. So, I played the first Portal game, and then, you know, after that I got Portal 2, and then I found Half-Life, and now, because I found games all, like, please don't freeze up on me.